Good afternoon. Welcome to the 35th Huron Township Applefest and the 29th Annual Michigan State Championship Old Time Fiddlers Contest. Before we get started, I want to take a moment to recognize and thank our sponsors, without whose participation the contest wouldn't be possible. First and foremost, we have the Huron Township Applefest to thank for sponsoring the contest, several of the awards, and several of the cash prizes. I'd like to thank Dosans of Flat Rock for sponsoring our beautiful first place plaque today, as well as providing all the other plaques, the medals, and the ribbons. I'd like to thank the Les Raber Memorial Foundation for the preservation of old-time Michigan fiddling, for sponsoring the first place cash award of $200, and for providing the Come Dance With Me tune books and CDs for our participants. Les was born in 1911 and received the Michigan Heritage Award from the Michigan Council for the Arts in 1991 for his lifetime of playing and preserving old-time dance music, recognizing him as a true Michigan treasure. In 2003, Les was inducted into the Michigan Fiddlers Association Fiddlers Hall of Fame, and we're very proud to be promoting and preserving the old-time Michigan-style dance-based fiddling that Les loves so much. Sarianos Violins of Troy and Ann Arbor, in conjunction with authors Glenn Hendricks and Patty Greenman, is providing copies of the Michigan Jamboree tune book for our participants. Michigan Jamboree is a collection of tunes from different old-time Michigan fiddlers from across the state. Sarianos Violins is also sponsoring our second and third place cash prizes. I'd like to thank Edna Johnson for giving us permission to distribute copies of her book, Stuart Carmichael, Michigan Fiddler, a collection of the tunes that her father used to play at old-time dances in Michigan. Stuart was born in 1899. In the summer of 1926, Stuart recalled playing for 94 dances. And even if you consider summer as running from May through September, that's still only 45 Friday and Saturday nights. So Stuart was a very busy fiddle player. So if you would, let's show our appreciation for our sponsors. We couldn't have a fiddle contest without their support. Our judges today are Glenn Morningstar, fiddler with the Old Michigan Roughwater String Band, a nationally acclaimed old-time dance instructor, author of Great Contras and Squares from the Great Lakes State and Dance the Winter Away. Glenn and the Old Michigan Roughwater String Band played for 24 years at Levitt Hall in Greenfield Village, a facility that Henry Ford had built specifically for old-time dancing. Glenn and his wife Judy are recipients of the Country Dance and Song Society Lifetime Achievement Award for their efforts at preserving and promoting old-time music and dance. Our next judge is Judy Raber, fiddler and member of the Michigan Fiddlers Association Fiddlers Hall of Fame. Judy is author of Come Dance With Me, original fiddle compositions and favorite tunes of Les Raber. Our next judge is Brad Batty, fiddler with Dr. Grangelove, the Sharon Hollow String Band, Aunt Lou and the Oakland County All-Stars, and the Old Michigan Roughwater String Band. Brad is co-music director for the Cumberland Dance Week, a board member for Michigan Dance Heritage, and a past president of the Ann Arbor Council for Traditional Music and Dance. So thanks to our judges for sharing their knowledge and love of old-time fiddling with us today. Our fiddlers will be required to play a waltz, a schottisch, a jig, and a reel, in that order, in a manner suitable for old-time dancing, in 6 minutes. Fiddlers will be penalized for playing their tunes out of order. Fiddlers will be penalized for going over the 6-minute mark. And remember that our fiddlers are playing against a time limit. So please don't applaud between the tunes. Wait until they finish their final tune and then give them generous applause. For the first time ever today, we're adding a separate Best Opera Reel contest. Opera Reel was a popular and widely known tune among old-time fiddle players in Michigan. It was even recorded by Jep Bisbee in 1923. Best Version Awards were a feature of some fiddle contests in the early 20th century, and we're borrowing from both of those traditions today by giving a separate prize for the best version of opera reel. If a fiddler chooses to participate in only the state championship fiddle contest, then they'll play a waltz, a schottische, a jig, and a reel and exit the stage. If a fiddler chooses to participate in only the opera reel contest, then they'll play opera reel and then exit the stage. And if the fiddler chooses to participate in both the state championship fiddle contest and the opera reel contest, they'll play a waltz, a schottische, a jig, a reel that is not opera reel, and then they'll play opera reel, and then they'll exit the stage. Opera reel will not count as part of their 6-minute time limit. Contestants must be present and ready to play when their number is called, or they'll be disqualified. No electrical or amplified instruments are allowed. Trick fiddling, cross-tuning, show tunes, and novelty tunes, such as Listen to the Mockingbird, Orange Blossom Special, and Black Mountain Rag, are not allowed. Styles of playing other than Michigan old-time fiddling are not acceptable, although our judges are very knowledgeable and may take into account variations in Michigan old-time fiddling. If they desire, our fiddlers are allowed one accompanist playing in chord-style rhythm. The presence, absence, or performance of an accompanist will not affect the fiddle player's score. Contestants and accompanists must play from memory. Sheet music is not allowed on stage. Our contestants are not allowed to speak on stage. Our judges are in an isolated, soundproof, not quite soundproof booth behind the stage here. So they won't be able to see the fiddle players, but they can hear what they're doing. So after the fiddler is done performing, feel free to express your appreciation with applause, but please don't call out any names. In the event of an accident beyond the player's control, such as a broken string or a problem with the sound system, the judges, at their discretion, may allow a replay if they think it's necessary. In the event of a tie, a one-tune playoff will decide the winner, and it has to be a different tune from one that they've already performed. Any person placing first a total of 3 times will no longer be eligible to compete, and all the decisions of the judges are final. Our contestants will be judged on rhythm, tempo, and timing. A steady, danceable tempo with no unevenness, pauses, or dropped beats. A pleasant lift that makes dancers want to move. Excessive speed is discouraged. This shows a contestant's ability to make a connection with the dancers and move them around the floor rather than just displaying hot licks. They'll be judged on clarity and intonation, notes played clearly with a good tone, showing the contestant's ability to make pleasant sounds and play the right note at the right time. They'll be judged on expression, the use of phrasing, dynamics, ornaments, and variation, showing the contestants' ability to make the tune their own by putting some of their own style and personality into the tune. However, elements that obscure the dancer's musical cues are discouraged. And then they'll be judged on repertoire, tunes that are appropriate to Michigan old-time fiddling, showing the contestants' knowledge of the tunes played by Michigan's old-time fiddle players, and it helps to preserve the old tunes and promotes the unique musical heritage of the state of Michigan. That's the end of my part. So now we're ready for contestant number 1. Dosans of Flat Rock is located on Garden Boulevard. They specialize in dancewear, trophies, embroidery and engraving, varsity jackets and school-themed attire, seasonal and Halloween costumes, magic supplies, novelty items, and more. They have been providing our awards for many years, and they seem to outdo themselves every time. So be sure to stop in to Dosans next time you need a plaque or a trophy, and tell them the Fiddlers contest sent you. So I wanted to mention that the Les Raber Memorial Foundation for the Preservation of Old-Time Michigan Fiddling is located in Hastings, Michigan. The foundation publishes the Come Dance With Me tune book and CDs to share the old-time fiddle music of Les Raber with fiddlers around the world. The foundation also presents lectures and concerts of Les Raber's tunes to organizations that want to learn more about Les's life and find out what his music is all about. So contact the Les Raber Memorial Foundation to sponsor a concert in your area and tell them the Fiddlers Contest sent you. Another one of our sponsors, Sarianos Violins, is a world-class violin shop with locations in Troy and Ann Arbor. Established in 1976, Sarianos has been serving the international violin community for 34 years. 35 now. Sarianos offers everything a fiddle player could need, including strings, parts and supplies, appraisals, high-quality rental instruments, and the finest in repair and restoration work. Peter Sarianos' work is respected worldwide, and he's famous for repairs that are not perceivable. So the next time you're in the market for a fiddle or looking for a tonal adjustment to get more out of the fiddle you have, visit Sarianos Violins and tell them the Fiddle Contest sent you. To thank our contestants and to encourage each of them to learn about Michigan's early fiddlers and the old-time tunes, every contestant, whether they place or not, will be receiving their choice of a Michigan Fiddling Preservation gift. So everybody please stay with us for the presentation. Our Michigan Fiddling Preservation gifts include the Michigan Sampler CD featuring 32 tracks of Michigan's finest old-time fiddlers, Come Dance With Me Tune Book, or the CDs, provided by the Les Raber Memorial Foundation, the Michigan Jamboree Tune Book, provided by Sarianos Violins, the Stuart Carmichael Tune Book, provided by Edna Carmichael Johnson, or the Clifford Sparks Tune Book. Clifford was born in 1891 and lived in Mecosta County. thank all of our contestants and accompanists for participating and playing for us today. I know I enjoyed listening to all of you. While the judges are tabulating their scores, let me again thank our sponsors for making the 29th Annual Michigan State Championship Old Time Fiddlers Contest possible, the Huron Township Applefest, Dosans of Flat Rock, the Les Raber Memorial Foundation for the Preservation of Old Time Michigan Fiddling, Sarianos Violins of Troy and Ann Arbor, authors Glenn Hendricks, Patty Greenman, and Edna Johnson. Please be sure to give our sponsors your patronage and thank them for supporting Old Time Michigan Fiddling. I'd also like to thank our behind-the-scenes support here at the Michigan State Championship Old Time Fiddlers Contest. These are the folks who never get to see the contest. They get to hear the whole thing, but they don't get to see it. I guess this time, our clerk and timer, Julie Bursey, got to see the contest for a change. She was out front with the sound man. I'd like to thank Kurt, our sound man. I'd like to thank Keith, our videographer, for filming the whole thing. I'd like to thank my wife, Loretta McKinney, without whose tolerance and understanding my participation would not be possible. And I'd like to thank our judges, Glenn Morningstar, Judy Raber, and Brad Batty. Their knowledge and love of fiddling and old-time Michigan music and dancing sets the standard for all of us. The results are in. If we could have all of our contestants come up to the stage. All right, so the recipient of a plaque and the $100 cash prize, sponsored by the Huron Township Applefest, for the best version of opera reel is Luke Panning. In fourth place, receiving their choice of the Michigan Fiddling Preservation Gifts and a medal sponsored by the Huron Township Applefest is Richard Wild. Yep. Except the MP3 player, that's mine.
Oh, that's what, no. I just want the cord. You keep the MP3.
In third place, receiving their choice of the Michigan Fiddling Preservation Gifts, the third place plaque sponsored by the Huron Township Applefest, and the $50 cash prize sponsored by Sarianos Violins is Steve Potoff. In second place, receiving their choice of the Michigan Fiddling Preservation Gifts, the second place plaque sponsored by the Huron Township Applefest, and the $100 cash prize sponsored by Sarianos Violins is Tommy McKinney. In first place, receiving his choice of the Michigan Fiddling Preservation Gifts, the State Champion Fiddlers plaque sponsored by Dosans of Flat Rock, the $200 cash prize sponsored by the Les Raber Memorial Foundation, and the title of 2014 Michigan State Champion Old Time Fiddler is Luke Panning.